walks forward. The 3-year-olds are now set. Racing, and what a great start it was too. They came out symmetrically, and from the inside Rosa's Shadow jumped away quite well. Will be headed though by Prize Nemesis soon after the start. Up there running third, Invisible Pro, being followed by This Away, just wanting to race a touch keenly early. Joined now on the fence by Moshard, and then Tenacity getting back. Invisible Pro soon after the start, and settling down last of all is Unending. And so as they work down past the 950, the leader Prize Nemesis a half to 3/4 clear. Running second over on the outside, Rosa's Shadow with a length and a half to Pixated, now up third. Moshard fourth, This Away fifth, and now being sent forward. A length and a half behind those came Tenacity, Invisible Pro, and last of all Unending. 650 left to travel. Prize Nemesis doing it very comfortably here on top for Brown. 3/4 to a half now only on Rosa's Shadow, and a length and a half to Pixated, who's trailing up there, beautifully placed on the outside of Moshard. He's really hard at work and bustling. This Away coming to the outside. He's off and around heels, followed by Tenacity. On the rails, Unending, and Invisible Pro had dropped out last of all at the top of the straight, where Rosa's Shadow raced up, grabbed a slender lead from Prize Nemesis, and now Pixated. It and This Away are putting their runs together. This Away, Pixated went to Rosa's Shadow. Moshard's on the inside, Invisible Pro charging from well back in the field. This Away got its head in front, however, and it's This Away. This Away scored again, one narrowly from Pixated. Won't be much in it though for third between. On the inside, Rosa's Shadow, and the fast finishing Invisible Pro, who charged from last. Then Unending, followed by Moshard. Close up Tenacity, and also the pacemaker Prized Nemesis. Bustling ride by Jared Noski here to get the Trevor Andrews trained Ukbar gelding home. This Away, he was just a touch on the bridle early on, wanted to get up and just carry his head a bit high and race keenly. Noski then got him to settle, but he then had to really work on him to pick the bit up once again when they started to lengthen just before the home corner. And he looks pretty dour. He got the better of Pixated. I think Rosa's Shadow might have just held third, and a big run coming from off the back, Invisible Pro. 1:26.38. They didn't go out and make any real time there behind Prize Nemesis, but they sure sprinted home in a quick sectional there. This Away, Verona Paul Holmes, are caught by Ukbar from running mate Jared Noski, aboard the winner for Trevor Andrews, and has scored from 5. Pixated by Dick Turpin from Dew Sea for Brett Pope, and also Butch O'Shaughnessy, trained by Brett Pope and ridden by Andrew Castle. Third, number 2 in the photo, Rosa's Shadow by Patronise from Biara Rose for Sharon Miller, Ross Fitzgerald, Glenn and Liesl Montague from Montague Partners, and Mrs. Kay Gibbons along with Brett Nazari and Gary Dickey, trained by Sharon Miller, ridden by Randy Tan. Invisible Pro was 4th home. Moshard ran 5th, a long head ahead. A great finish there. There wasn't that great a margin between first and last actually in the run to the line there in the Heineken handicap. Now the next event of the day, the running of the 5th leg handicap over the 1400 metres. No changes there. We do have a riding change though coming up a little later on in the day. In the second last, number 3 Luna Rossa will now be ridden by Ryan Hill. Hill's on 3. Luna Rossa replacing Glenn Smith indisposed. Won't be riding there later. Let's go down now to the winners' enclosure, and Gareth Hall is about to be joined by Trevor Andrews, saddling up a winner today, and a great chance too in both of the premier races on the weekend.
Yes, thanks for that, Darren. Trevor Andrews stops the rot there from Simon Miller, but he's a progressive type, this horse.
He is, Gareth. My only concern going into today's race that I thought he was looking for a mile. Steady tempo, and Jared sort of had to get busy on him early. But he's a horse that's very raw in ability and very green, and still sort of finding his way. But in time, I think you'll make him into a pretty good horse.
And he did race a little like a horse that was looking for a bit further today.
Yeah, exactly. He's just a big raw horse. I mean, he's nearly 600 kilos. He's quite large, and he's a bit uncoordinated, but I'm sure that when he puts it together, he'll have better races ahead of him.
Where do we see him now, or do you give him a little bit of a break and maybe bring him back in the winter?
There's a mile similar race for him in 2 weeks. I'll probably go there, and then I'd suggest we'll probably go to the paddock and let him sort of grow into himself.
Geez, he's done a really good job. He's a horse on the up, and well done, Trevor.
Thank you.
There's Trevor Andrews there, Brittany, and he is a horse going places, as Trevor just pointed out. He's a big, lump of a thoroughbred, and he's got a little bit of growing, and you would imagine a little bit of improvement as well.
Absolutely. Well, Trevor already pointed out that his biggest concern was that he was looking for more ground, and it's always good to see horses still get the job done over 1400 when they're looking for more. Jared, he made you work pretty hard and, in the run. How did you find that?
Yeah, I found they went pretty slow and wasn't suited to a horse like him, but he handled it quite well for, he's pretty big and clumsy still, but he managed to travel pretty tractable, and then when I asked him to go, he took a little bit longer to wind up than I would have liked, but ran through the run nice.
We were just talking about Trevor was concerned that perhaps he needed a little bit more ground. Is that the feel that you got, that 1600 is what he's looking for?
Yeah, I think it'll suit him. The pace I went today is probably the pace I go in a mile race, and he was running through the line strong, so he'll definitely get a mile.
Congratulations on the win.
Thanks a lot.